All right, sorry about the delay. We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. And we'll go ahead and begin with agenda item 2.1, Milton Elementary Middle School Renovations Project, Budget Update. Mr. Bordelon.
Good evening, members of the Facilities Committee. Kyle Bordelon, Director of Planning and Facilities. I have with us tonight Mr. Mark Stilper, the Project Architect for MDSB Group. We're going to have him present a short presentation on the status of the Milton project at this time.
Thank you, Kyle. Good evening. I just want a quick update. Last time, I think it was July 12th meeting when we made a presentation here. At that meeting, we were presenting a $19 million total all-in project for Milton. That includes all kinds of fees, the soft costs, the hard cost, construction costs. The budget approved to this point is $15.6 million. So, we went back and looked at what we can cut to get back to that $15.6 million cost. And the reductions that we're looking at is, first of all, we're looking at a reduction in overall square footage. That's the easiest target to hit for the money. So we've identified a little over 8,000 square feet, which consists of kind of 3 classrooms on 2 floors, so a total of 6 classrooms, 7,369 square feet. That eliminates all the portables, but doesn't do what you want to do, I think, in putting enough classrooms there to meet that 1,200 student cap or enrollment cap that you have for Milton. We also looked at the cafeteria area, and we reduced that by 721. We're still increasing it substantially, almost doubling the size that it is now. So as you look at the plan of where we were at the last meeting at July 12th, you see the blue section of the school that we're adding. What we're looking at to do those area reductions are the 2 areas in red, the one to the right being the classrooms, taking about half of one of those pods and reducing the number of classrooms there, and then also the cafeteria. You can see the 721 square feet there. This is just an image of the second floor doing the same thing above. So in addition to that, to get to the 15.6, because that probably equates to about $1.6 million in dollars right there with the square footage reduction. In addition to that, we're looking at reducing our cost per square foot to $200 a square foot. Our contingency, we're reducing it from 5 to 3%. 3% equals $450,000, and that's getting very tight. Furniture, we've reduced from $1.2 million to $500,000, and so we'll be reusing existing furniture where needed. This is a spreadsheet of the total project. I don't know if anybody wants any detail here, but we're still doing the car rider line, air conditioning the gym, the kitchen renovations, those kind of items are still in the project. We've cut the consultant costs other than the land surveying, platting, and geotechnical. And then you can see that we're still leaving in the IT and security line items as they were. The image, we're still where we are with the school. And time-wise, we're still marching forward with what you're seeing in front of you right there. So next Monday evening, we go in front of the Planning Commission for the platting, the total platting of the school. As soon as we get that, we're going to be working on getting that road project out. That interior road is a separate project going for this fall construction. So that's short and sweet. Anybody have any questions?
Yes. Dr. Aguilar, I'm going to ask him a couple questions, but I'm going to ask you to give us your recommendation here after, if it's okay, after I ask him a couple of questions. I'm very uncomfortable with reducing the square footage by almost 8,000 square feet in a school, on a campus that most people forget is a middle and an elementary school. So we have some campuses that have almost the same amount of students, but they're just elementary campuses or just middle. This is an elementary and a middle campus, so I'm very uncomfortable with reducing the square footage. I don't want to work backwards. We're supposed to be working forward. I don't have a problem with reusing furniture. I think everybody at this day and age would expect that. One of my questions I do have for you is, can you elaborate a little bit on the reduction in square foot? Because if you can reduce it from 220 to 200, let's go to 150. Tell me how you're reducing the square footage, the cost per square foot.
We are reducing it from 210 to 200. And in doing that, there are some amenities and canopies and some of the items that make a school really nice and those amenities that really make it a little above and beyond. Those are what we're looking at. Otherwise, we're looking at giving you a school that's very maintainable, that takes you down the road. But it's a little bit of those extra items, and we had a little cushion. Right now, I don't even know if we can meet the 200 a square foot. We're fixing to go into a budget scenario with a local contractor, and we'll be able to define that a little bit better.
What is the dollar amount savings on the reduction of the cafeteria?
It's 700 square feet. What's the math on that? $140,000?
Dr. Aguilar, what is your thought process here? I mean, I guess I can understand the reduction in the cafeteria, but I'm still having a hard time with the reduction in the classroom space, knowing that we were attempting to get to a 1,200 student capacity, again, an elementary and middle school campus.
If I could, I'm going to explain a little bit more on the cafeteria, because right now you seat about 192. We were shooting for 400. The reduction gets you to about 350. So it still makes a big improvement in the number of lunch periods that you'd have. And I think, to me, that's not a bad situation right there. But the classrooms, I agree. I'm sorry.
So, Mr. Hidalgo, we were very concerned when the budget was downgraded from 19 million to 15.6. It looks like there's some cost savings that we can achieve. One of the things that Mr. Guidry will do at the Finance Committee meeting after this meeting is indicate that we have a little bit more bonding capacity available to the district using the USDA funding. That Finance Committee will hear a recommendation to return $2.3 million to the Milton budget. It gets the budget back up to $18 million for this project. I think with $18 million with the cost savings, and let's not go with the maybe the over-the-top kind of improvements, but I think we can get the wings added back as well as the cafeteria. We want Milton to be able to ramp up to capacity of 1,200 students. There is no individual that will look at South Lafayette and not expect that we'll need more middle school seat capacity as well as elementary seat capacity. We're depending on Milton to help absorb the growth in student population. We're also anticipating building out Catherine Drexel. It also has a proposed phase 2 to add additional seats. We're doing that knowing that that'll help us get down the road. South Lafayette will need at least another elementary school in the future. We'll need likely another middle school in the future. We need Milton at 1,200 seats. So my recommendation to you is that if we have the bonding capacity and we can still achieve our goals, and our goals early on was phase 1 of Southside, Catherine Drexel, Milton, and a wing expansion at Plantation Elementary School. We still see capacity to do all 4 of those projects. So I would urge you to receive this report and await the Finance Committee agreeing that with the bonding capacity we have, let's proceed to return that money back to Milton.
Just 2 comments I had. The day we visited Milton, wasn't one of the major concerns the cafeteria?
Yes.
The getting the students in and out in time to get a meal. I mean, you can't go to school without a meal.
Yes.
And the thing I fear, sitting on this board, is, I'm going to use Prairie as an example. The day Prairie opened in 1968, they hauled portable buildings on the property. I don't want to spend this kind of money to once again go back to portable buildings. I'm going to have to agree with Mr. Hidalgo that we need to try to do what we can, and on Dr. Aguilar's recommendation of try to get back to the 18 million. And if in the 18 million we can take care of the cafeteria and the wing, and maybe eliminate a bells and whistles or little cosmetic here or there, I'd be all for that.
Well, I don't know if you need action, but I know, go ahead. Okay, great. Well, we thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Agenda item 2.2, Southside High School project budget update. Mr. Bordelon.
Thank you. Tonight, we have the project architect, Mr. Eric Crozier from Abel Crozier Davis, who is going to give us a brief update on the Southside High School project budget. Eric?
All right, good afternoon. Let's see if we can change this out. My staff would be so proud. All right, shut it down. See if we can get it to go full screen. All right, there we go. Drop it a little bit. All right, so Eric Crozier, Abel Crozier Davis Architects, I'll give you a little brief update on Southside, where we are. From a design standard, our update, our current budget is your current GMP, $62,308,123 is the current GMP. That has not changed. We are currently have priced out 35 bid packages with the construction manager at risk. We've got 12 to 13 bid packages left. So far we're still in budget. And if you look at how many packages have been bid out and what we've got left, and if you'd like to think that we're in budget, we're in pretty good shape. You know, we've bid out more than we've not, and we're still in budget. Now, the rub is we're still in design. The design will finish in a few weeks. So we're still kind of moving this forward incrementally. You've got approximately 12 packages that were bid in 33% complete, 12 that were bid in 50%, 12 that will bid at 75. You'll have another 12 at 100. They'll all get updated at 100%. So we're not out of the woods by any stretch, but we're feeling better about it every day. That we're in, the shape that we're in is pretty good shape. We certainly could be in worse shape. The design contingency that's a part of the GMP is being managed very well. We still have virtually all of it left of where we started. So we're in budget. We've not touched our design contingency that is currently a part of the GMP that you own. And we've not, at this point, tapped into your owner contingency, which is outside of that. Our consultants, as we were talking about, they'll be 100% complete on this Friday. So at that point, architecture is attempting to catch up to them. So as we got 1 foot in construction, we got 1 foot in design, we're the common denominator. So we're helping everybody get to where they got to go, and we got to catch ourselves up. So we're working with the CMR and the consultants to get that wrapped up. To give you an idea of progress this past week, about 10 days ago, we got 90% coordination from everybody in, which looks pretty good. The tilt wall shop drawings, which is all of the walls all the way around, those were taken care of. That's about a 2-week process. We've got 2 people on that full-time, just working on that's a big part of your project. So those are getting managed very, very well. What's on the screen here is essentially Friday package from the Lemoyne Company. This will kind of give us an idea from a construction standpoint where we are. What you see here in this image, I don't know if you can see my cursor or not, but you basically have a donut. You got the dirt in the center. Okay, so the square to the left of that, which is actually on the west side, is the slab for your cafeteria. On the other side of the donut, if you will, is classrooms and your admin. There's a little kind of lighter, kind of darker gray all the way over to the right again. That slab was poured on the 26th. So this whole area is now poured. Saturday, the one that's closest to you, I wish my cursor worked, but the one that's closest to you, this big square here, which is all of your fine arts area, the target is Saturday for that to get placed. So that'll give you an idea of where that is. There's a lot of detail on this document. Here's essentially where we are. We are on schedule. We had 20 rain days applied for. We had more than that built in to the schedule already. Also, the site is what they call weatherized. So essentially, extra money was spent to meet the schedule to weatherize the site. So when it rains, and it can rain, 2 hours later we're back to work. The rest of the site's going to be a swamp, but where the building pad is and the access roads in and out are dry, and we go back to work. So it's working very well, and that has kept us on schedule. So far, we're on schedule. So that was pretty good news. Completion dates are the same. Phase 1, July 29th. Phase 2, November 30th of 2017. Just a couple of pictures. These are just rough ends of plumbing in the underground of Area A. Area A is the fine arts area. This is your slab D. When it's hot like this, we're pouring concrete at 3 a.m., 4 a.m., pretty early, and luckily I don't do a lot of construction administration. This is a list of your packages that have been bid out. We talked about that a little bit before. So 35 have been bid out, if you will. Now those are based on drawing sets that were done previously. As updates go on and we're continuing to design, those bids will change. But we're working very closely with them to monitor that. What has changed? What are we changing? Why would we change it? And we keep moving forward. But so far, any changes that have been made have been absorbed. This is another idea of your slab pour. The pink with the vertical stripes, it says pour 1. You'll see a little net in the center. That's that donut we saw in the picture. So to the right of that is pour number 2 is yellow. That was 20,000 square feet that was poured back on the 16th of July. The gray, which says area D, it's another 23,000 square feet. That was poured on the 26th, so just a few days ago. And then down here in your lower left, pour number 4 is your fine arts. That's placed on Saturday. That's the goal. So this is your milestone schedule. Right now we are on schedule, as I said. Slab on grade for, let's see where we are. That one was placed after, I'll go back up to here. After area A, the green, the next would be the purple, pour 5. That's going to be next. We're going to skip this little gray area right here. We're going to jump to the other side. Then we're going to pour area F, which is the green, finish out with the light blue pour 7. Some of these other pours are getting left out for crane access. So those will be placed as we don't need the crane, we'll move the crane back out and pour when we come back out. So we're on schedule, everything's going well. And let's see, I had a couple of pictures if you would like to see those. These are just some site photographs, so you can see it's pretty wet, it's pretty muddy, but we're working because of the weatherization of the site. These are a couple of samples. We're doing full-size mock-ups for the floor finish. We're polishing the concrete, so there's 2 different kinds of concrete here that we'll polish here pretty soon, and we'll get an idea of what that's going to look like. And then we're also, because of the way we're going to do it, the tilt wall panels are getting poured on here as well. And we'll have full-size sample, well, not full-size, but have a mock-up of our tilt wall panel. So that's what, essentially what all these pictures are here, are prep for the mock-up, so we can see, yep, that's how we want you to do that. And then from there, that we use the mock-up to essentially keep us on track later. Different rough ends, electrical. This is, again, we went inside, it poured, we came back outside, started working. So here is your area D before it was placed. A couple pictures here, and this is just essentially how this is a knockout for your column, one of your columns. Very quick. Any questions? Mr. Hidalgo.
No, do we have any questions from anyone here with us tonight? All right, Mr. Crozier, we certainly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Hidalgo,
Yes, sir.
I do want to clarify one thing. We are the owner. Our contingency was tagged at $3 million, and Mr. Crozier said that we haven't dipped into the owner's contingency. That's not quite correct. We received a request for a quick final decision regarding the HVAC equipment for Southside High School. We had determined as a cost-cutting measure to move from a water-cooled HVAC system to an air-cooled system to save money in the original budget for Southside High School. So the engineers were asking us for a final decision regarding whether or not we wanted to reconsider getting back to a water-cooled system. I spoke to Mr. Angel. I spoke to you, Mr. Hidalgo, as well as Mr. Centani, and we made a decision to revert back to the water-cooled HVAC system. The beauty of that system is that the payback on the extra cost is as little as about 7 to 10 years. So with a life expectancy of 65 years for the school, we pay back the cost for the water-cooled system. The extra cost was approximately $900,000 estimated. So that comes out of our owner contingency. However, through all of the bid packages that have been received thus far, the contractor's contingency is to the good of $1.9 million. So we think it's an even bet that we'll end up with some money back from the contractor, and we'll still have reserve monies in our owner contingency. So I wanted to call that to your attention.
Thank you. Item 2.3, Southside High School construction update. Mr. Bordelon.
Actually, I think Mr. Crozier covered all of that in 2.2.
I bet he did. All right. Well, that is the last item on the agenda. So with no other comments, questions, or concerns, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.